Yeah, one can see far into the distance, and I think we are starting to get a glimpse of the Tankwa valleys and plains over that ridge. So now we've reached the summit. And the dirt road again. Katbakkies. Yeah, that is a pass that one can certainly ride. It is very, very beautiful. But now on to Pierboom's Kloof Pass, or also known as the Skittery Pass. And I suppose you need to cross that next mountain to get to it. But this dirt road is just a fantastic road to ride. I must say, this is not bad to do this on a Monday morning. One certainly feels quite isolated here, far away from everything. Yeah, suddenly caught out a bit by some loose stones, but this road is mostly in a splendid condition. So just after passing the Katbakkies Pass now, we still have about 100 kilometers to go to Touws River. So yeah, it is a bit of a longer stretch on the trip today. But if you have roads like this, yeah, I don't complain. Oh, now even taking it up to 80 kilometers an hour. I'm not an adrenaline junkie, so I will only do this when it's really safe, but this road is really very, very good. Oh, what a smooth ride through this beautiful, beautiful place. So you can see there in front, it seems like everything is just going down, so we are quite high up, but we're probably going to soon do a bit of a decent descent. No, the Honda CRF 300 Rally is made for these roads. Now this bike, I always say, it's not a fast bike, but it's a reliable bike, and you always have the peace of mind that it will take the road, or will be able to ride the road that you are taking. So even if this road becomes much worse, I have the confidence that the motorcycle will be able to do it. Of course, this provides one with the opportunity then to get to places that are really isolated and beautiful. So I love it. To me, this is the definition of freedom. Yeah, one can see far into the distance, and I think we are starting to get a glimpse of the Tankwa valleys and plains over that ridge. I'm not sure how far the Skittery Pass still is, but I see on Google Maps they talk about Skittery Kop, and I think maybe that can be it, but I can be completely wrong because there's a prominent copy there. We will know when we hit the Skittery Pass, because the first 2 kilometers of that pass is only about 4 kilometers long, but the first 2 kilometers of that pass is also tar, because it apparently also has quite a steep gradient of 1 to 7 average gradient. That is quite steep. Yeah, so I want to introduce you to another feature of Hocha, the drone. So you can see now the drone is in the air, and on the panel here you can see that I'm locking in on the bike, and this is the active track function of the drone. So if I now ride, the drone should start following me, but this is sometimes a bit finicky, so let's see. Indeed, it is it is following me. So this allows me now to use both hands to control the motorbike while the drone is still following me and taking the footage. Isn't that convenient? Especially on a beautiful road like this. Yeah, I don't know if that is Skittery Kop here in front of us, but it's certainly a prominent copy. So yeah, we can even go a bit faster. So I'm doing about 30 kilometers, almost 40 kilometers an hour, and the drone is still following. So yeah, beautiful. Yeah, so sometimes it loses the locking into the bike, but yeah, let's just bring her back and see whether we can get this set up again. Yeah, so let me just lock onto the bike again. Okay, sometimes it's a bit finicky. Let me just get the visibility of the bike, that it is not confused with shadows next to the road. So let's try again. Yeah, it seems like it's now locked onto the bike again. But I see there are some cars coming. Sometimes this confuses the drone. Hello? Yes, no, fine, thanks. Sorry? Yeah, no, I'm doing footage. So the drone is also in the air. No, it's all fine. It's following me, so it's all good. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye. Yeah, some friendly people stopping next to the road. Let's go. I must say, this drone, the DJI Mini 3 Pro, to me is an extraordinary piece of technology. I did introduce the drone in one of my previous videos, the video that I made to Redlinghuis. If you want to go and have a look for a more proper introduction to the drone. I did not introduce this feature though, the active tracking, so I hope you are appreciating how it works and how one can sometimes then manage to capture the riding while it is happening. There's two ways for me to do it. It is either by active tracking like this, or to fly the drone manually while I'm riding, because sometimes it's not ideal for the drone to just follow the bike. Sometimes you want the movement of the drone to be independent of the bike, but then I can simply fly it with my left hand while I'm riding. Yeah, but the Tankwa Karoo is opening up in front of us. This is breathtakingly beautiful. Yeah. Okay, there is certainly not a pass or a mountain to cross anymore, so maybe we are just going down the Skittery Pass, if I have to guess. Sorry, I'm a bit confused. I've never ridden this road, but certainly, I mean, you can see the extraordinary views over the Tankwa Karoo plain here. Oh. And we are now descending, so I can only assume that we are now busy riding the Skittery Pass or the Kloof Pass from top to bottom. Yeah, it can even go a bit faster. It's a bit against the wind. 46 kilometers an hour. The top speed of the drone is around 60 kilometers an hour, so it does manage to still track me even if I go a bit faster. Okay, but now it lost me, so let's bring her home. it's flown more than 3.5 kilometers since I took her up into the air. Yeah, now we can simply make a landing.
Landing.
Oh, that's it. This is Gocha, the drone. Well done. It is still keeping the camera up steady, so you can see there's a gimbal there. But yeah, this is the DJI 3 Mini drone. With one battery it can fly more than half an hour, and one of the newer batteries that I bought now, actually I can fly almost 47 minutes. So with that one can do quite some distance to ride along or to take in footage. I hope you found this introduction to the tracking function of the drone interesting. Please let me know your comments. I don't use it often, but very convenient to give a different perspective and to use this extraordinary technology. Okay, so Gocha the drone is now stowed away, so we can go a bit quicker again. Now, Touws River is still 90 kilometers away, and we still need to get down the Skittery Pass. I think I need to make up a little bit of time. Yo, the conditions are just perfect, because when I stopped now to stow away the drone, there is not even a breath of wind. I think this is extraordinary. So high up. The Tankwa is an area that I don't know. This is something that is on my to-do list for a very long time already, and today I'm only gonna get a glimpse, because at the bottom of the Skittery Pass I'm simply going to turn in the direction of Touws River and not deeper into the Tankwa. But Andile and myself, we are planning a trip to the Tankwa towards the end of June, so there I will explore a bit more, not with the motorcycle of course, but I will then make my plans to also return to the Tankwa with the motorcycle at some point. I know there are many people that ride it, and I think it is motorcycling heaven. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to go and explore the Tankwa at some point, and also to bring those videos to you on Werner's View. I can see a dirt road far down below. I'm not sure whether I'm linking up with that one, but there is also a dirt road, but it is most likely where I'm going. I think we are now on the descent. We've probably passed the top of the Skittery Pass. So when I read up a bit, did a bit of research, it was just mentioned that this pass was used a very long time ago already by, the route here was used by the Khoi people as a cattle track long before a pass was built. So yeah, there's a long history for this area. Yeah, but one can see far here. Towards that direction, that direction, that direction. The distances are vast. Hallo. Hoe gaan dit?
As die klagtes is lekker koud vanoggend. Dat hy lekker pad die kant toe.
Nee, baie mooi, baie mooi. Ek dink die kondisie is eintlik goed. Hier's niks wind en so aan nie, so dit is pragtig.
Padwerk is verby.
Daar's die pad. Wel net by op die berg is daar mos nou 'n bietjie padwerke. Maar dis al lankal aan, maar tot daar's daar niks.
Ja nee, dis een van my favourite spots. Om te stop hier so net te staar na die Karoo.
Ja. Nee, dis die eerste keer dat ek hierdie pad ry, nee, so dis vir my.
Ry hom al jare.
Nee, dis vir my ongelooflik mooi.
Ja, watter kant toe gaan jy nou?
Ek gaan Touws Rivier se kant toe. Ja.
Pas op, daar's baie los sand op.
Okay. Nee, dit is nou sleg om te hoor. Ek hou nie van sand nie. Nee, ek sal maar versigtig wees.
Wat is dit? 'n 650?
Nee, 300. CRF 300. Klein fietsie.
Hy is lekker.
Nee, wat ek vat hom rustig. Ja.
Lekker ry.
Lekker ry, hoor. Baie mooi bly. Bye. Just an interesting chat with my fellow motorcyclists. He says he's been doing this road for years and years, and for me it's the first time, but yeah, you can see this is roads that are well loved by the motorcyclists. So we've now reached the Touws section. So yes, obviously this is then the Skittery Pass. So apparently this Touws section is 2 kilometers long, and yeah, this pass has got an average gradient of 1 to 7, which is quite steep. So this is a quick descent. You can see there is some water erosion here on the side. This is certainly one of the most enjoyable roads that I've ridden so far. You can drive it with any car. You don't even need a high clearance vehicle. Simply a road that anyone can take. I have no idea where the name Skittery Pass comes from. Maybe it's just named after this koppie here that is also called Skittery Kop, but it's also got another name, Kloof Pass. So yeah, it's just some colourful names. Now one can see that this road has got a very steady, steep gradient. And suddenly we are at the bottom almost. Yeah, so this is the 2 kilometers of tar road for the Skittery Pass. And we've now successfully and safely made the transition from the Katbakkies to the Tankwa. So to me the Tankwa represents stretched out plains of beauty. You can certainly get the sense of that here at the foot of the mountain. And now it is on to Touws River, which is still 85 kilometers away. We are 2.5 kilometers away from the R355, that is the road that will take us in the Touws River direction. But we've made it now to the R355. We are making the turn to the right. Of course, if you go into that direction, it is more Tankwa. This is the Skalfinia Road. So yeah, this was now the Swartrug Road that takes you to the Katbakkies. That is where we came from. And the R355 is indeed a dirt road. Let's go. But it looks like a very well maintained dirt road. Although my fellow motorcycle rider there at the top of Skittery Pass did warn me and say there are some sandy parts, so I will keep my eyes open. As you know, I am not a fan of sandy roads. I find it quite difficult to ride, but the start of this road certainly looks very good. Yeah, this R355 is proving to be quite a busy road, and it's as if the wind is non-existent, so the dust lingers on the road when the cars come by. You can already see another car approaching from the back, but I'm just cruising at the steady around 70 kilometers an hour. The place where the R356 and the R355 splits. So if you turn left here, that's the R356, and that will take you to Sutherland. I can only assume that the area that we rode through now on the southern parts of the Tankwa is actually called the Karoo. Of course, we are very close to Ceres now, about 40 kilometers or so away. I thought the dirt roads were done for the day, but we still have a last few twists on dirt road before we take the turn to Touws River. Touws River, still another 40 kilometers. So this is quite a long stretch of road for this trip. But yeah, I'm just sitting back and enjoying the views. Now safely made it to the connection with the N1 here on the R46, so I need to make a left-hand turn to get to Touws River. So of course the N1 is the national highway linking Cape Town to northern parts of South Africa, so unfortunately I have to ride on it for about, 9 kilometers or so to get to Touws River. But yeah, I will just enjoy the cruising. The CRF rally is now filled up again. So let's just head into the town of Touws River for a bit of a closer look. Yeah, so the town of Touws River is, well, it's got a very strong link to railways and trains because this was an important railway station for the Cape Government Railways. Now this town was already established in 1883, but yeah, the importance of trains and railways are noted here, especially the railway track through the Hex River mountains. Yeah, I think what is then also celebrated here is the history of steam engines, and I was just looking for the place where there is actually one of the old 482-23 model locomotives that is on display here, the steam locomotive. Yeah, the name Touws River, of course, refers to the river as well. It's got the same name. Oh, there is the locomotive. Wonder whether I can get closer to it. And it comes from the word Touws, which is apparently the Khoi word for ash. Just see, it will be now unfortunate if this is locked, because I wanted to have a closer look at the train, the locomotive, but apparently it seems like it is closed. But let's just have a look here from the side of the road. I made a stop here at the Gideon Joubert Park in Touws River, which is the place where a very important old steam locomotive is on display. It is the so-called 23 mountain type 482 locomotive. I think this is in line with the importance of Touws River as a very important railway junction in the past. So let's try and have a closer look. Unfortunately, the gate is locked, so I cannot get that close, but maybe just have a bit of a view on it over the fence. Yeah, unfortunately I cannot get very close, but there in the distance you can see this locomotive. It's quite a huge thing. It's called the mountain type 23 steam locomotive. So this is the 482, and the 4 refers to the leading wheel, so 2 on this side, 2 on the other side. So that's the leading wheels of the locomotive, and then the 4 big ones, and 8 in total, are the driving wheels, well, the powering wheels of the locomotive. And then there's also then 2 wheels right at the back of the locomotive, and that is where the 482 configuration in the naming comes from. Apparently in 1938 and 1939 a total of 136 of these steam locomotives were built. So yeah, they were used quite widely in South Africa and on the railways. So it talks of a previous era of coal-fired steam engines. Yeah, I learned a lot myself by just reading up a bit on this locomotive, but it's a very interesting display that one can see here. Well, this then brings me to the end of this trip. Thank you very much for joining me all the way there from Op die Berg, from Ribbokskloof, where I departed this morning. This ride through the Katbakkies Pass and the Skittery Pass, and just connecting the Koue Bokkeveld with the Tankwa. I hope you enjoyed it with me. This was immensely beautiful to me. And then also making this 80-kilometer crossing from the bottom of the Skittery Pass all the way to Touws River. Thank you for joining me on this trip. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, please. And yeah, this is not the end. I'm gonna depart now very shortly from Touws River for the next trip, but please catch up on that in the next video. Until next time, bye bye.